Hello, good evening. Welcome to Starr today here on Starr FM. I am Tutuwaa Danso. And listen to our top stories this evening. And coming up in this broadcast, Ghana police arrest convener of Democracy Hub, Oliver Bakavomawo, for alleged unlawful acts during recent protests on September 21 and 22. We will be live on the ground for the latest on that development. Now, meanwhile, day 3 of the protest has been characterized with low attendance, with 2 others arrested, raising concerns about the state of political freedoms in the country.
Now, come on! Don't let this be the end of this protest! Don't let us be the last ones who are picked up! Don't let them die! No!
We are not buried them yet. We will not continue to be pitying the public.
Also coming up, Mortuary Workers Association of Ghana is set to shut down all mortuaries nationwide starting Thursday, September 26.
We are not buried them yet. We will not continue to be pitying the public and then everybody come, will you go back to where you use other alternatives? We have exhausted almost every means. The only language now we can speak is to make sure there is total withdrawal nationwide.
The next NDC government, inshallah.
And later, NDC presidential candidate John Dramani Mahama asserts NPP's attempts to manipulate Ghana's history for political gain will ultimately fail as the next NDC administration will right the wrongs.
The next NDC government, inshallah, in January 2025, will seek to remove the distortions in our history and restore Kwame Nkrumah to his rightful place in the history of Ghana.
And Attorney General's office serves notice to criminals they will not be able to take advantage of plea bargain acts to evade justice.
So the criminals out there, they should be on notice. They are watching. Our attorneys will not just deal with you because you want to enter into the plea agreement. They will look at the facts and circumstances to see whether you merit it. If you do not merit it, you won't get it.
We have the details of these and many other stories in this broadcast. Do stay.
Star News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takoradi, Cool 103.5 FM in Ho, Rage and Might FM in Tamale, Somali FM in Wa, My Star Radio in the USA. Also live on Facebook on Star 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Star 103.5 FM.
Thank you very much for choosing Star today. Now, the Ghana Police Service has arrested the lead convener of Democracy Hub, Oliver Bakavomawo, for alleged unlawful acts. This follows a recent police statement declaring him wanted. In response, Bakavomawo denied being in hiding, calling the allegations baseless and misleading. In a Facebook post, in a statement signed by Assistant Commissioner of Police Grace Ansah Akrofi, the arrest is linked to various unlawful acts that occurred at the 37 intersection of Accra on September 21 and 22. This incident comes on the heels of 2 other arrests of Democracy Hub protesters on Monday, September 23, raising concerns about the state of political freedoms in the country. Let's now go over the phone lines and engage counsel for the protesters, Noah Adamte, for more on this development. Counsel, thank you very much for your time this evening. You have raised concerns about the police conduct during the ongoing protest. What exactly are those concerns?
Okay, so thank you very much for having me. Yes, so from our communique issued to the IGP yesterday, we indicated that for the about 46 persons who have been arrested at 2 p.m. today. Most of them have been denied bail, and aside that, they've been denied their right to counsel. And some of them have even not been given the chance to reach out to their families. So as concerned lawyers, we are calling on the police service to comply with the dictates of the Constitution and allow these persons their constitutionally guaranteed rights. Allow their families to see them, allow their counsels to have access to them, and also treat them fairly. Aside denying them their right to counsel, most of these people have been denied food. They have not been allowed to receive food from family or friends who have heard of where they are and have tried to reach out, bringing them food. So these are clear violations of their rights that we are calling on the police to rectify.
Okay, and what were the reasons the police gave for undertaking this action?
Just the statement that orders from above is that no one is allowed access to the people. That is simply the excuse the police has given. So we visited several police stations where that is the song that every commander or station master there is singing. That order from above is that you are not to be allowed access to these people. So until we get an order reverting that decision, we won't grant you access to the people.
Do you know the exact locations of these arrested persons? Are they all stationed at one police station, or they are scattered across the various police stations?
Yeah, so they are scattered around various police stations in the country. Out of the 46 people arrested, I can say that we know of the location of less than 20 people. And even the 20 people we know of, some are the district police station at Testano, some are at Accra Central, the railway, Legon police station, Osu, Cantonment police station, even as far as Ayimensa and Oibi. So they are dispersed across the city. So it's difficult even reaching these people. But for about 20 to 25 others, we don't know their whereabouts. And the police are tight-lipped on this. They are unwilling to disclose the whereabouts of these people.
Very interesting. We're also learning today that the lead convener for the Fix the Country demonstration, that is Oliver Bakavomawo, has also been arrested. Do we know the status of that?
Yes, so we need to correct that miscommunication by the police service. Oliver, pursuant to the police issuing certain communications that they are on a manhunt for him, issued an earlier statement on his social media platforms that he is available to meet the police wherever they want to meet him. So today at 1 p.m., Oliver turned himself in at the regional command, that's the regional headquarters in Accra. So it wasn't an arrest. He himself turned himself into the police. And we are yet to get any confirmation on where Oliver is being kept as at now. All we know is that around 1 p.m., Oliver surrendered to the police at the regional headquarters.
Earlier, there were concerns that an 8-year-old who was part of the protest was arrested by the police. Is that true?
Yes, so that is true. An 8-year-old girl by name Rose. So Rose was with one of the protesters, and she was arrested and manhandled by the police officers. But information reaching us somewhere late yesterday was that Rose had been released. Yes, but it is true that the story that Rose was arrested is actually true.
Council, today is supposed to be the final day for the protest, and we understand that the turnout was really low. What do you think is attributing to that?
Yeah, so definitely it is the unjustified arrest that happened yesterday. And from my point of view, I think it is a calculated effort on the part of the police to quell any form of protest in the country, because we have seen this repeat so many times in the past, that whenever there is a protest, even when the protest is as calm as it can be, there are unjustified arrests of people. So the turnout today is not surprising, looking at what has happened in the past 2 days. So I think moving forward, we need to have a very strong response to how the police treat Ghanaians who decide to protest their hardship and issues arising in the country.
Right. Now, you have released a statement to outline your displeasure with regards the arrest of these protesters, asking the police to be more transparent in these dealings. In the event that the police does not give you the information you need and still remain tight-lipped under the guise of receiving orders from above, what are you going to do?
Yeah, so far the police, the only communication we've received from them is all of the arrested individuals will be arraigned before court tomorrow. They have not informed us of the specific court that they will be arraigned at. So from our point, what we are doing is that we are calling on our members to join us at the various courts that they are possibly going to be arraigned tomorrow. And so that at least we will know where they will be arraigned and have representation in court. So that is what we will be doing.
Counsel, for purposes of clarity, I mean, what are your suspicions? What court exactly do you think these persons will be at?
Yeah, so because they were arrested within Accra around 37, we are suspecting they may be arraigned at the Central District Court or maybe somewhere at Kaneshi. So we'll be at these places and all other possible places they could be sent to. Since they sent some to Oyibi, Aimensa, Osu, and other places, we cannot just focus on these 2 places I mentioned earlier. We have to be everywhere and then ensure that they will have adequate representation when they are brought to these places.
Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate you. I've been engaged in counsel for the protesters, Noah Adamte, who has been telling us that the police has remained tight-lipped on the arrest of some protesters. But meanwhile, day 3 of the Democracy Hub demonstration was characterized by low attendance, with few people suspected to be protesters lurking around the 37 military hospital area. Now, 2 men who arrived at the scene chanting slogans of the protest were apprehended by police personnel.
It's minutes after midday on what was supposed to be the 3rd day of planned protest by Democracy Hub. However, if you take a look around me, you'd realize that there are no protesters around. You can only see some few civilians here, but I can assure you they are pressmen who are eager to get their stories, as I am. And we have the presence of police personnel over here, numbering close or if not over 100 who are prepared for the planned protest. However, no signs of protesters. The police have, however, taken seats and engaging in conversations with one another, some even patronizing local food vendors who come around, all awaiting the Democracy Hub demonstration. The FPU came along with the MTTD with their branded vehicles, with the FPU also coming with an ambulance. Streets remain closed to traffic, so if you are coming from Medina all the way to Accra, the 37 route is off limits as the police has barricaded the whole area, asking people to go through either Kawukudi stretch, through the Kanda Highway, or through the Gifford Road leading to Bema Camp. The closure goes as far back to the Akweje interchange, also or formerly known as the Sankara overpass. But over there, cars are being allowed to use the ring road stretch, that is from Laboni towards the Kwame Nkrumah Circle. But if you're coming all the way from Accra towards 37 at the Akweje interchange, you wouldn't be allowed to move. The police say that they are going to release a statement to the effect and see what may happen next. However, minutes apart, the day's action begins.
Come on! Don't let this be the end of this protest! Don't let us be the last ones who are picked up! Don't let this die! No!
2 men stood in front of the police barrier addressing the media on what they described as a national threat.
Whether you are at home, see, we have strength in numbers. Come out! We are dying! Your right. Please speak up! The water they are polluting, it will be used to grow crops. You will eat those crops, you will eat the food, you will use the water to bath, you will use the water to cook, and you will die. They will send their family members outside of the country for ultramodern treatment. You will die in Ghana. You will die in Ghana.
But they were whisked by the police into a standby van. Democracy Hub conveners, as of filing of this report, had not shown up at the venue, with lead convener Oliver Bakavoma was still declared wanted by the police. Reporting for GH1 News, Eko Boache.
That was a report filed by my colleague Eko Boachi. And here in the studios, I am Tutuwaa Danso. Let's move on to some other stories now. The Mortuary Workers Association of Ghana is set to shut down all mortuaries nationwide starting Thursday, September 26. The association remains resolute in its decision, signaling a significant disruption in funeral services across the country. This move comes amid ongoing disputes regarding poor working conditions and demands for better remuneration. Secretary of the Mortuary Workers Association of Ghana, Richard Kofi Jordan, has been speaking to our sister station, GH1 TV.
Just for government to implement, it is becoming a problem. In February, we issued a statement to the Ministry of Health with its agencies indicating that those matters which were already negotiated and had to be implemented are still holding. And therefore, if seriousness is not taken in resolving them, we shall get to where we are. So it presupposes that some people somehow have decided that they are not going to do what is necessary for us to continue working in the mortuary. When we issued that threat in November last year, they came in with their own timelines in terms of resolving these matters and gave us 29th of December as the deadline. We didn't ask for that deadline. They came out with those deadlines. Now, in February, we noticed that even after promising and putting on paper, signing that, by 29th, we shall resolve all this. In February, we had not had that thing done. So we have to write to them to remind them as good citizens of this country. We reminded them that, look, even though you promised, you have not fulfilled. So we are urging you and those that we have charged with the responsibility of making sure that things are done should do the needful. Otherwise, we shall get to where we are. Respectfully, let me put it that from February to now, how many months should we keep dying? As we speak to you, we have about 8 of our colleagues in the morgue who are dead. We are not buried them yet. We will not continue to be pitying the public and then everybody come, we will go back to where we use other alternatives. We have exhausted almost every means. The only language now we can speak is to make sure there is total withdrawal nationwide.
Starr today, first, fast, and credible.
This is still Starr today. Let's do politics now. And the former president, John Dramani Mahama, has asserted that the governing New Patriotic Party's government attempt to manipulate Ghana's history for political gain will ultimately fail. Speaking at an event in Nkroful to commemorate the 115th birthday of Ghana's first president, Osajafo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the NDC's presidential candidate condemned efforts to distort the nation's historical narrative and diminish Nkrumah's legacy. He emphasized that Ghana's history cannot be altered despite attempts to embed such revisions in school textbooks.
The hatred and bitterness harbored by those who disliked and hated Nkrumah still erupts from time to time, as exemplified in the recent outrage that was expressed by the whole nation at the description of Kwame Nkrumah in the derogatory term of "that's your Kwame Nkrumah." Samo Kwame Nkrumah no. Mr. Chairman, Nana Chairman, my brothers and sisters, history cannot be revised, no matter how you feel. Our children's textbooks with different versions of your history. Founders Day must be a day that recognizes Nkrumah, the leader who delivered independence to Ghana and whose vision was continental in scope. The next NDC government, inshallah, in January 2025, will seek to remove the distortions in our history and restore Kwame Nkrumah to his rightful place in the history of Ghana.
John Dramani Mahama is a flag bearer of the NDC. Let's turn our attention to the camp of the NPP, where the running mate and the flag bearer of the party, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, has reiterated the government's commitment to renaming the University of Professional Studies Accra after its founder, Nana Opoku-Ampoma. You recall that this was first announced by President Akufo-Addo on April 25, 2018 at UPSA's 4th Special Congregation, where the university conferred an honorary doctorate on Nana Opoku-Ampoma in recognition of his contributions to education in Ghana. However, during a courtesy call on Nana Ampoma, who is also the chief of Amwafo in the Bekwai constituency, as part of his campaign tour in the Ashanti region, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh assured that the constitutional and legal processes required to rename the institutions are underway.
Sir, the co-park grant to invest, the control park grant, SB Dumbu, in the air, CK Tedder, in the air, Friday Lukumase, Piamika, in the air, Emu, Pukwakumadi and a mine, I grant in a mine, and the two, what the assassin, if you are and yeah, I think, the source of the parliament, parliament system, yeah, we could do from Koi. The university I came in Ghana by Sika this year. UPSC, what to go up to my Sika. And your boss, your boss, and another pipe, then another shear, then another punch, put many be dear one. Let's be very friend of Pukwampo. Let's be a maybe I just say the idea. And the crown of your course worker. I'll bet you be out there. Now, fat saw dear. I didn't even. Also, can you the crowd? Because I didn't have the exception. Look, we'll be out there now. And I'll be too few. Now, fat. Now, you need to be who's over a fee and Baconam Wyatt tenant or what. Would you want to have a Uncle, so I feel the even no fat because of family. Baby, your baby. You're very good. And I come to crowd. You can't come up here. I catch you.
Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh is the vice presidential candidate of the ruling New Patriotic Party.
Starr today, first, fast, and credible.
Now, the state has issued a stern warning to criminals to revise their notes for the better, should they think the introduction of the plea bargaining law would be a springboard to evade justice. The plea bargaining law is to allow accused persons the opportunity to initiate terms with the state for lesser punishment. In order to ensure uniformity in the application of the law, the Office of the Attorney General has launched guidelines for the administration of plea bargaining. Deputy Attorney General Alfred Chiayabwa said the law would not be a springboard to evade justice.
As you already indicated, we have the Plea Bargaining Act. And as you already indicated, we have the Plea Bargaining Act. And the act was passed by Parliament some time ago. The AG's office, we have various attorneys who represent the AG in prosecuting cases in Ghana. We have to ensure that we have a uniform standard, that if you're an attorney and you are entering negotiation with any accused person, you do not do it on your own. It's not necessary to come up with these guidelines so that any attorney, whether in Bo, whether in Tamale or Bogatanga, seeking to go by the Plea Bargaining Act will use the same format. It also helps the accused persons, in the event that officers decide that they're not going to enter plea bargaining with them on stated reasons, then we can also maybe question our attorneys why they are not going to, if they are not willing to go into plea bargaining with some accused persons, because the guidelines will tell you how you should do it, and those that you should be doing with, and those that you are not supposed to be doing with. The advent of this plea bargaining arrangement should not be used as a springboard by either the criminals or even those of us who are prosecuting for purpose of evading justice. Under no circumstance should we trade off justice just because we want to have the plea bargaining law implemented. Where we think it's necessary for the plea bargaining act to be implemented, to be done. Where it's not necessary or it is not required, given the set of facts, it will not be implemented. Because we may have criminals who will take advantage of the situation commit crimes and think that they can come pay their way through plea bargaining and then go away. So the criminals out there, they should be on notice. We are watching. Our attorneys will not just deal with you because you want to enter into the plea agreement. They will look at the facts and circumstances to see whether you merit it. If you do not merit it, you won't get it.
Alfred Tutuwaa is the Deputy Attorney General. Let's talk about agriculture now, because the National Tomatoes Traders Association of Ghana is attributing the rising prices of tomatoes to the lack of dams in the country. They are urging the government and policy makers to construct dams nationwide to prevent future shortages and reduce the country's dependency on tomato imports. My colleague Rosemond Akwokwa-Ajete reports.
At the beginning of the year, vegetable farmers face the uncertainty of unpredictable weather patterns, hoping for favorable conditions. But the ever-changing climate conditions cause significant losses for many tomato farmers and traders, resulting in dwindling harvest, scarcity, and skyrocketing prices. Social media was flooded with consumer complaints as tomatoes became both scarce and expensive. Today, the situation has changed. Markets are flooded with tomatoes and prices have dropped dramatically. A single tomato now sells for as little as 1 cedi. When GH1 TV visited the busy railway market, also known as Graphic Road, the scene was surprising. Despite the bumper harvest, traders sat idly by, some chatting with colleagues, while others dozed off in a quieter than usual atmosphere. The frantic sales of the past have slowed, and now traders face a new challenge: low patronage. Although the market is full of tomatoes, customers seem hesitant to buy. Traders noted that while farm gate prices remain high, the market dictates otherwise, with consumers determining how much they are willing to pay.
Sisi aketen ni ye 200 cedis ni 25. Ba box ni ye 700 ni 500. Sisi ade ye nto ade ye nto hwi ye ba ye betra ho sa ebi mu wa anu fitie eneni 3 days.
Ese anentos na di fra da na eba. E na anentos mu se aba wa hanom na bush ni de no po wodden. Ye di anentos ni bedu hanom na. Se na mu se obu wa hanom embu wo bush kwa. Enti na anentos na mu na bia enenebo 34 yet on say 8,000, 8,000, 5,000, 6. Na utin tos na utin ton say okwo ni say.
No ye share contain 4 million by the bar no ya nya surprises no. E ya 9 tos na ba bebre enti e ba sa na ye nya prices sa na ya nya low prices enti ye share say petrol mo betete so am drivers for no so kan obi. Because the better transport are mine too. So answer you free bush about kwan kra motor de be ban so ye betia transport so ye betia by bedru ha ye nya high price na nya ne low enu esa na net ye high pa
Price na di ton pon ye benya wa ha. Se omo bom so be ma 252 15 sa no mo be ma ene sa na ton wo but 152 Charity
Otunfo, Queen Mother of Tomatoes at the CMB market, suggests a way forward. She believes that government investment in dams across various regions could prevent future shortages, ensuring a steady supply of tomatoes even when one region faces challenges.
Say no sento su be yefu se ne bo be yedin se ye betimi ato se ye ntimi nto ne nyina gina ye man a ye timu iso 6 months na ye de ko Burkina no so asase ne Ghana Burkina ye ko ho a dam na omo aye e na omo so sa dry season no wo mo de ye ntosu no ansa na ye nye ko ho ekofum ye sra ban ne se sasem we ya kan na me se so dua biom se ohu ye mmobo no ndan na ne be hwe ntosu kwansofo na sabre na ye de ko Burkina emo nsemo bebre no onye dam ne bi.
The association says that building dams across the regions will not only stabilize tomato production, but will also save the country millions in imports, reducing the reliance on foreign produce to meet local demand. They warn that time is running out, stressing that the call for dams is not just about agriculture, it's about national survival. Reporting for GH1 TV and Starr FM, Rosemond Akwokwa-Ajete.
That was a report filed by my colleague Rosemond Akwokwa-Ajete. And that wraps up this broadcast tonight on Starr Today. Thank you very much for your time. For more news updates, do log on to starfm.com.gh. I am Tutuwaa Danso. Have a good evening.